If your child has started needing glasses and every single time you come back to the optometrist, the prescription keep going up and up, then at some point you've probably sat there wondering if any of this can be reversed. I get asked this all the time and I understand why. I myself am short-sighted. I've worn glasses since I was 8 years old, and 4 out of 5 of my siblings are short-sighted too. So this is something I've lived with my whole life, and this is what we do here at Myopia Care Clinic to help manage it for other kids. So I want to give you an honest answer if all of this can be reversed. And to do that properly, I first need to explain what parents actually mean when they use that word. Because it turns out that actually means two different things. Sometimes they mean, will my kid stop needing glasses at some point? And sometimes they mean, can the prescription actually go back down so that the short-sightedness gets less and less until it's gone? It's worth separating those two because they don't have the same answer. And I understand where the question is coming from because it's a hopeful one. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had a mom and dad came in and they wear glasses themselves. And it was the first time that their little one needed glasses too. And you could tell that they were actually quite devastated about it, even though they know that their eyes is the same. So the first thing they wanted to know was to see if there was an option to help to reverse it, to stop their child from ending up just like them. But you have to understand what short-sightedness actually is before it starts to make sense. When a child becomes short-sighted, it's because the eyeball has grown a bit too long. The eye is always growing as the child grows, and that is completely normal. If it grows a bit too fast and ends up longer than it should be for their age, and that's when things starts to go blurry in their vision and they need glasses. So, the prescription really isn't the problem itself. The prescription is measuring how long the eye has become. So, you can't shrink an eye back down. Once it's grown, it's grown. The same way, you can't reverse a child from getting taller. So no, the short-sightedness itself can't be reversed. But even though we can't undo what's already happened, there are things we can do from then on to help the child. The trouble is, most of what you find when you go looking doesn't actually work. So, before I get to what does, I want to quickly run through some of the things that don't necessarily improve myopia. The big one is eye exercises. The idea is that if your child does certain exercises every day, their vision improves. But exercises work the muscles around the eye, and short-sightedness isn't a muscle problem. It's the length of the eyeball, and no amount of exercise can change how long the eye is. Blue light glasses and vitamins comes up too. Both can matter for other reasons like screen comfort or general health. But neither one slows the eye down from getting longer, therefore neither one changes your child's prescription. The only one thing with real evidence behind is outdoor time. Kids who spend more time outdoors in daylight are less likely to develop short-sightedness in the first place. But once a child already is and the prescription is climbing, more outdoor time isn't enough on its own to prevent it from progressing. So what we're doing is slowing down how fast it gets worse, and that matters more than it might sound. Because the higher a child's prescription climbs over their life, the higher the risk of more serious problems down the track. So keeping the prescription lower genuinely helps the health of their eyes over the long run. There are a few treatments that we use for this. Option 1 is myopia control glasses. From the outside, they look like normal glasses, but the lens is designed to slow down the eye from getting longer while your child sees through it clearly. They're a good starting point for a lot of families, especially for younger kids, because there's nothing for the child to manage themselves. But the glasses only treats your child's eye while they're actually wearing them and looking through the center of the lens. So if they push it down their nose or take the glasses off, that treatment time is lost. Then there are atropine eye drops. These are low-dose drops that your child has at night, and it helps to slow down the progression of myopia. In Australia, the common concentration that you'll hear about is usually 0.01%, 0.025%, and 0.05%. There's also daytime contact lenses. These are soft contact lenses that your child wears during the day and throw them out at night, and they slow down progression and give clear vision at the same time. Anecdotally, I find that this works a bit better than glasses for most kids. And that's because when the child looks around, up, down, left, or right, they're always getting the treatment, which may not be true for glasses. And then there are overnight vision lenses, which are called Ortho K. These are hard lenses that your child wears at nighttime while they sleep, which then helps to reshape the cornea, the front surface of the eye. Then in the morning, your child takes them out, and they can see clearly all day without glasses or contacts at all. So it does two jobs at once. Your child gets to go through the whole day without glasses, and at the same time, the lenses are one of our better options at slowing the progression down. So the honest answer is no. You can't reverse a child's short-sightedness, but you have real options to slow it down and help protect their long-term eye health. And the sooner you start, the more of that eye growth you get to keep in check. If you want to see exactly how each of these treatments works and how we decide each one is right for a particular child, I've made a full video walkthrough of it and you can watch it right here. And if you're here in Perth and you would like us to have a look at your child's eyes and put up a plan together that fits them, you can book a consultation at the Myopia Care Clinic. The link for that is in the description down below. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.